everybody, this is Shago. Welcome back to Megadimension Neptunia V2. In the last episode, Neptune, here she is. She got teleported back to her own dimension, but Nepgear didn't, and also we broke Histy. So yeah, we kind of need to fix Histy to see if she can gather a plan to maybe get Nepgear back. Otherwise, Neptune is going to have issues if it's just going to have Neptune around. We did get the ability to root build. I believe you probably just saw me just do this straight away in the previous episode without me actually explaining it. But this is basically how we're going to be going through to dungeons from now on. Is that any base like place where you heal and stuff, there will be a route building option here, and you can route build to a place. I mean, you can't here because it'll just say no. Basically, you'll just select where you need to go and you can build the route, but you actually have to pay for the actual route, so you kind of need to be careful with your money, especially later on in the next what am I calling it? The next major story arc. Right. Yeah, so basically that's how route building works. You do it the first time, which will be this one. You get the slice through achievement as well. So without further ado, let's just head to the first CPU Sanctuary. Glad we didn't get any encounters, because that does in fact happen. The encounter rate is still stupidly high. But yeah, in this one, if you're doing this normally without DLC, you will just be doing this Neptune alone. But we do have Uzume and Nepgear along with us, and like I said, I can use them if I so want to. But I'm kind of gonna make a judgment call right now to at least not use Nepgear. Uzume's fine. Uzume's relatively low levels, and I kind of want to level him up, and this is probably the best time we can do it, because otherwise there's not going to be a space for him in the team to do such a thing. So we'll pair Nepgear up with Neptune for now, just in case of problems later. There might not be, but you never know. But regardless, a lot of the enemies there are actually going to be relatively easy, especially if they're just going to be just the one enemy. Like Dogus, they're generally like the first enemies you can see normally in a Neptune game, but this one decided it wanted to be a little bit different. There's an item there, I want to grab that. SP charge, I like SP charges. Now you can't actually get, oh, I was going to say you can't actually get up there, but you can actually. But I think what you're supposed to do here is to use this teleporter to get out. And it actually just takes you, it is actually faster because it actually takes you to the path you need to go anyway. Some teleporters are broken, either they only work one way or they don't actually work at all. That being said, I probably should fight some of the other monsters so you can actually see them, because this place is fairly short and can actually deal with a lot of it, like from like a big standpoint here. And like I said, Uzume was not really tall doing that much, but I want to level him up simply because he does have some really good healing and support skills that will in fact help later on. I mean, we already have his super powerful healing attack. I believe he has a AoE heal all effect as well. Grab these items here. and they'll deal with you as well. For some reason, the same formation as the previous thing. Let's see. I can get. I'm pretty certain I can get both. Yes, I can. And Rubio can finish the other one off. Neptune is out of reach, so I'll just defend. The whole point here is I also don't really want Neptune to die or really take considerable amounts of damage because reasons. The main reason being that well, we'll find out. You find that out much later in the. Let's say, where do I need to go? I need to go up blah. I'm just thinking, where do I need to go? But you find out like the main reason why there's going to be a problem. Later on in the second story arc, which like kind of where all the main issues are, or the main sort of the main storyline starts coming together. But yeah, it's basically the end of the dungeon already. We have a save point here. I believe this takes us essentially back to the beginning. So you don't actually have to wander all the way back to the entrance, yeah. Because we're like right there, we just need to basically go down there, and there's the exit. If you don't actually have escape buttons, but we do have a couple if we need to, and I believe once we're done here, we get kicked out of the dungeon anyway. So there's that. Otherwise, the enemies here aren't. I'm going to say they aren't that difficult, but I know Uzume did in fact take a beating. So we may need to heal him. I'm actually healing him using items, to be fair. It's like horror upon horror, we're going to be using items for a change. Yeah, he's like half dead, so actually enemy Neptune took a hit as well, so let's heal with Uzume's skill first, and then we will I probably should be fine. Doing a save though, let us save and then proceed onwards to our event. And there goes Neptune with the fourth wall breaking. Well, I mean, it is Neptune and all. And yeah, you pretty much had to open her mouth. But then again, this is Neptune. She kind of like does not like to stop talking unless absolutely necessary. So again, this is another fairly difficult battle if you're not using DLC, mainly because you'll not have Uzume and Nepgear around with you. So you just have Neptune on her own. I'm going to put Neptune in slot. I think I want it to be in slot 4 actually, and have Uzume behind. Yeah, that sounds pretty fine by me. So basically the strategy with this one is that you kind of want to use like SP on him. I'm not going to be doing that with Uzume simply because I'm going to probably try and keep his SP for healing. So first turn I want to do your best on Purple Heart. And you also want to try and attack this guy from the sides if possible. I say as I didn't really want to I kind of don't really want to save SP with Neptune. But yeah, spam your things like critical edge, cross combination. Eventually, you may get to a point where we may or may not see it. But there is a small chance that Neptune may get 2 turns in one go because of what the Ancient Dragon does. And if that's the case, then what you want to do is you want it to be, you actually want to be healing or defending on one of those turns, so then the Ancient Dragon doesn't get a double turn of his own, which can in fact spell disaster for you if things go horribly wrong. But at the moment, the dragon's kind of been, I want to say fairly cooperative, but at the same time, he has kind of been doing nothing but target Neptune. And I believe he does have an AoE. I'm wondering, my buff run out? I think my buff has run out. That being said, it doesn't really matter at this point because his health is low enough that probably the next, basically the next attack that Neptune does is probably going to kill. Well, Dragon's been very cooperative. One last cross combination should do it, but if it doesn't, then I've got Emu in the back anyway, so. That's the Ancient Dragon for you. But basically, if you are at the point where if you're just doing this on your own with Neptune, like without DLC, then you'll have to use items instead of heals. Trying to keep health above 1000, and like I said, if she gets a double turn, heal or defend is necessary. And yeah, you might even need to use SP charges as well. I didn't. I was fortunate / stupid enough to not need SP charges, but that's what you get for when you're using DLC, I guess. And Dumio finally gets a couple of levels. Kind of what I wanted. But yeah, since that was the part of the dungeon, you really should have find that treasure that we was looking for in the first place. And there's Sanshiro's Soulful patch, which we need to deal with Histy. And so we just head on home, hope for no encounters. We got an encounter. Thankfully it's an encounter I can easily deal with. Freezing beam, please. Don't even really need to cut that one out. Alright, we go home. See, this is the problem with P2 that you can just come from like a short distance here, have no encounters, or the similar sort of short distance, and then you just have an encounter on each of these nodes here, and it does actually get rather irritating, especially later on when you have like, access to the entirety of game industry, and you have to go from lean box to away. Yeah, it does get really irritating. But anyway, we have the Soulful patch. Let's go fix Histy.
doing?
Welcome home, Nep. Histy's still passed out. No new developments here.
How'd it go, Nep? Did you find the item?
Ta-da! You better believe it.
Wow, you're amazing, Nep. I knew you could do it if you tried.
You just gotta make sure to thank the other CPUs after this is over, alright? They helped you out even when things got really rough out there, after all.
Yeah, I know it. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, so I'm gonna treat them all to something nice when it's all over.
Alright, so where's the item you brought? Can you hand it over, please? I want to hurry and install it in Histoire.
But how are we supposed to insert this weird cassette thing into Histy?
Maybe somewhere on her back?
I just looked all over her, but I didn't see any slot that was shaped like that. Did that thing come with an instruction manual?
Nope, none.
Well, that's no good. Even when we have the solution to her problem, we can't even get it to work.
I know. How about sticking this cassette in Histy's mouth?
What?
I think that might be a little bit of a stretch. Let's keep looking for another way.
It's completely fine. Histy's tough. She can handle it. Here we go. Now, we're all prepped and ready to go.
We can't show this face to anyone.
Starting automatic program. Checking update patch. Beginning installation.
I can't believe it's actually installing this way. It's kind of an insane design.
Maybe the CPU from back then had a similar personality to old Nep over here.
So, how long do you think it'll take for the patch to install?
It's unclear. We'll just have to believe in Histy and wait for her to recover.
You're right. We'll put all our faith in Histy then. I hope she gets better soon.
You know, I honestly get the feeling that Neptune really enjoyed sticking that cartridge into Histy's mouth a little bit too much. But that's just me. That being said, that's kind of the end of this little segment there, and well, this part of the story. I believe there's 2 more parts to this story, to the Zero Dimension story at left. There's this one coming up, and then the big old finale. And well, yeah, probably take like a couple more videos, you know, to get that sorted out. Maybe by about 3 or 4, maybe. I'm not too certain. But yeah, like I said, we'll have to wait and see.
Transfer terminal.
Uzume, are you okay?
You damn idiot! Do you understand the implications of what you just did?
But the way things were going, you would've...
I ain't having it! It was your chance to go home! We worked so hard and you just friggin' blew it!
Uzume, nothing can be done about that now. What's done is done. Please focus your energy on finding a means of escaping.
We'll talk about this later, Gearsy. Let's force our way through the front. Stay close, you two.
Right.
So yeah, meanwhile, back in the Zero Dimension, in case you've forgotten, Nepgear ended up getting stuck here, saving Uzume from potential oblivion. And thankfully, Umio and Nepgear have also joined us. I'll put them into the team for now. I believe I still have all my stuff as well. Let me go to the right menu, please. Nepgear and Umio, you get in the team. And I need to change your equipment around because I need you to have Beam Saber too, and you can have the regular Beam Saber. Everything else should be absolutely fine. So basically we're going to be going to our next dungeon, similar to how we have been going, but there's going to be a few cutscenes. Depending on how long the cutscenes take, it's probably going to be finishing the video off after the cutscenes take place. If not, we might be going through, we may go through another dungeon, we'll wait and see. So let's just go. We need to kind of bail before Arfoire kills us all.
Alright, I think we're in the clear. Okay, Gearsy, seriously, what the hell was that?
Well, you were in danger, Uzume. My body just kind of moved on its own. And before I knew it, I was jumping out of the
None of that matters. I shouldn't even have been part of that equation. This was your chance. What are you doing wasting it on me? So stupid.
It wasn't stupid. And it wasn't a waste. You're still here and you're safe. And that's what matters to me, okay? If I have to sacrifice someone to get home, then it's not worth it to me. I'm sure Big Sis would say the exact same thing.
But then, how can I ever forgive myself for ruining your only way home?
Uzume, it's in the past. What's important now is to begin planning our next move.
That's easy. We're going right back over there and wrecking each and every last one of them. Maybe Gearsy can still make it back home.
Even if we return there, if the terminal was heavily beaten in the battle, I doubt it's usable any longer.
Then what are we supposed to do?
Our current foe differs from the giant in that she has clear objectives when mounting her attack. I propose we evacuate this area completely.
You really want us to run away from her?
Not exactly. We'll need to devise an appropriate strategy of retaliation, considering this foe is so different from what we've faced in the past. Concurrently, we can also be considering alternative options to return Gearsy home.
Okay, as long as we get to fight back. I hate being passive. It doesn't feel right.
Understood. Let us return to our main base. Some of our friends may be able to offer help.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what do you mean by main base, Uzume? Wasn't this your base?
I guess I never mentioned it. This was just a temporary base we created for our bouts with the giant. And don't think asking me questions is gonna make me forget your foolish move. You're in for a long lecture once we get over there, Gearsy.
Please go easy on me.
Yeah, you've had lectures from Histoire. You should be fine. Anyway, even though this is supposed to be like taken over by other monsters and Arfoire and stuff, you can still go back there and buy items and stuff if you so want to. But anyway, here is our dungeon. I think we can get up to we can pretty much get up to the event marker here, and then probably call it a video. So let's head to Daytona Cave. Actually going through 2 dungeons in a Neptunia game. In one video, what a concept. And yeah, I'd like to see you try Arfoire. But anyway, here's one of those teleporters that's basically a one-way one. This is the one that leads back to the start, kind of thing. I think the other one's actually over there somewhere. Now, if I remember this place has a lot of really tough enemies to deal with, even though I feel that we might be a little bit over-leveled at the moment, but at the same time, they can do a lot of damage, and I'm kind of one of the... You've seen how I play. I play like I don't really have healing items. Preferring really only to go with healing skills and only healing with items when it's absolutely necessary. No, I'm pretty sure the Engear's fine. Gear just needs to tweak it a little bit. But yeah, place is actually quite easy to deal with. More observation scopes, which are pretty not that great. Like I said, all they do is that the reveal starts for target when you use one. Here's the teleport that takes you back to the beginning of the dungeon, and I'm only around here just so I can get this item here, which I believe is a weapon for Uzume. So if you are going back to get healing items and stuff, like healing items and new weapons and such, don't buy anything for Uzume because we have a weapon for her here. We also have enemies, so that's also going to be an issue. Again, trying to avoid using SP because we want to be dealing damage. We want to be doing as much damage as possible to the. I remember using saving our SP for bosses. I also try to avoid Nepgear dying as well. Is probably also another thing I would like to have happen. As well, but yeah, these guys aren't all that much at all, as you can plainly see. They will do plenty of AoE damage to us, but that's just down to them being, well, and also, yeah, really would like Uzume to get a few more levels on him, because right now he's currently doing not that much at all in terms of attack damage. I mean, yeah, I could probably go and get him a weapon, but considering that we kind of want to save as much money as possible, don't really want to do that because his weapons get really expensive later on. And well, basically more or less done with the dungeon. I think there is one more item over on the other side of this around here. Yes, there is. One life fragment, we might need to be using that. And right there is the event marker that takes us to the dungeon, well, to the quote-unquote boss. What I want to do, if I really want to do it, is well, be fully healed for this fight, to be honest. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Uzume's main hideout, see if I can buy any new items. Well, mainly for Nepgear, because I think he can probably get her a new weapon for her. That's not as good as the one that Nepgear has. And other defensive things, and then I will probably come back here. I'll probably have a few more levels on me, since I'll probably had to have a couple of fights to get here again. And in the next episode, we're going to see what happens after we cross this event marker. Take care, and I will see you guys later. Ciao.